Okay, we're starting on turn 3 of Cauldron, Decision Games folio game on the Battle of Gazala. And the main thing that happened on turn 3, the several German battalions managed to capture the airfield at Bir El Gubi, and there was continued effort to attack the Free French in Bir Hakim, and finally the French brigade surrendered, and the Axis were able to capture Bir Hakim. However, this was not without cost. There were a number of losses that were incurred. The Commonwealth is still reeling, and I'll show what is happening on the map here. You can see a defensive line in the Cauldron here, and the Axis 33rd Recon is kind of singled out. Even though there's an attack launched there, it ends up yielding no result. So it's what you see in the map is pretty much how turn 3 ends. Moving on to turn 4, we can look back and realize that Bir Hakim took 3 turns to neutralize, and so that's not a terrible result. It was a difficult position. However, now the battle can progress deeper into the Commonwealth territory. An Axis Kampfgruppe is sent through the airfield at Bir El Gubi to try to start to focus on El Adem, which is another important Commonwealth position. I'm going to take a look at the map now as we go into the Axis attacks. So the Commonwealth has a defensive position that's fairly powerful and consolidated. So on the eastern end, we end up having the 580th and the 33rd Recon battalions go against the 2nd RGH battalion. Both sides are going to use all of their artillery support to try to produce results. What ended up happening is the Germans lose a battalion, but the British armor is reduced a step. And on the opposite side of that line, which you can see in the picture, the 2-8 Panzer Battalion and the Italian 11 tank attacks an armored battalion, which results in another exchange. So the British unit is reduced, the Italian unit is reduced, and then we go to the Allied player turn. So during the Allied player's turn, the Commonwealth player decides that he's in a little bit of trouble here, defending so far forward, so he decides to fall back toward El Adem and Knight's Bridge. And that's where he sees that there's a German recon battalion which can reach his eastern supply source. So that would reduce the amount of Commonwealth artillery support and could be detrimental to the defense of Tobruk. So the 9th Indian Brigade is dispatched to cover that area. However, there are no attacks. On turn 5, we have the German Panzer battalions end up occupying Bir El Harmat, which was left undefended, so it was easy to capture. And then we'll look at a couple of attacks by going down to the map. You can see on both sides of this defensive position, I have it circled on the map where the main thrusts of the attacks were. And in particular, the interesting one is on the right, where the 29th Indian Brigade was attacked, and it took a retreat result, and it can't really retreat because there's no path that's free of zone of control. So it employed stiff resistance, which allowed it to take a step loss instead. And you can see on the other side, there was also an attack against the Commonwealth Tank Regiment, the OB. Anyway, that brings the fifth turn to a conclusion, and we'll look forward to some more replay of this folio game.